Hi, everyone, and welcome back to English Flow Podcast. I'm Gwen, your host, and today we're tackling a question every student asks themselves at some point. How do I study smarter, not harder? Whether you're preparing for exams, learning a new skill, or just trying to keep up with your schoolwork, this episode is for you. We'll talk about what happens when you study too much, how to create balance, and some powerful techniques to improve your study sessions. By the end of today's episode, you'll have practical strategies to make your study time more effective without feeling overwhelmed. Let's get started. Part 1. The problem with overstudying. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in an endless cycle of studying, yet nothing seems to stick in your brain? You're not alone. Overstudying is a common issue, and it can actually make learning harder, not easier. Let's explore why that happens. When you study too much without taking breaks, your brain gets tired. It's like trying to run a marathon without stopping for water. Eventually, your body gives out. The same goes for your mind. Overstudying can lead to stress, burnout, and even forgetting things you've just learned. Have you ever found yourself staring at a page for 10 minutes and realizing you have no idea what it says? That's your brain's way of telling you it needs a break. Another problem is anxiety. The more you push yourself, the more you might feel like you're not doing enough. This creates a vicious cycle. You study harder, but your performance actually drops because you're too stressed to focus. Let me share a story. When I was in college, I had a big exam coming up in psychology. I stayed up late every night for a week, cramming as much information as possible. By the time the exam day arrived, I was exhausted. And guess what? I couldn't recall half of what I'd studied. I learned the hard way that rest is just as important as studying. Part 2. The importance of balance. So, how do we avoid the trap of overstudying? The answer is balance. Think of your day as a pie chart. Each slice represents something important: studying, sleeping, eating, exercising, and relaxing. If one slice takes up too much space, the rest of your life suffers. Balance means giving equal attention to all areas of your life. For example, if you spend 10 hours a day studying, but only 5 hours sleeping, you're not setting yourself up for success. Sleep is crucial for memory and focus, as we'll discuss later. Similarly, taking time to exercise or enjoy a hobby can recharge your mind and make you more productive. A balanced schedule might look like this: 6 to 8 hours of sleep, 3 to 4 hours of focused study sessions, 1 to 2 hours for exercise or hobbies. Time for meals and breaks. Let's not forget social connections. Spending time with friends and family is not just fun, it's also good for your mental health. So next time you're tempted to skip a family dinner or hang out with friends to study, remember that those moments are part of a balanced life. Part 3. Smart study techniques. Now that we understand why balance is important, let's talk about how to study smarter. The goal is to make the most of your study time so you can learn effectively without overloading your brain. 1. The Pomodoro Technique. This is one of my favorite study methods. The Pomodoro Technique involves studying for 25 minutes and then taking a 5-minute break. After 4 cycles, you take a longer 15 to 30-minute break. This technique helps you stay focused and prevents burnout. Think of it as a workout for your brain. Short bursts of effort followed by rest. For example, let's say you're studying for a history exam. Set a timer for 25 minutes and focus on one specific topic, like the causes of World War I. When the timer goes off, take a short break. Stretch, grab a glass of water, or just close your eyes for a few minutes. Then reset the timer and move on to the next topic. You'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in just a few hours. 2. Mind mapping. If you're a visual learner, mind maps are a game changer. Instead of writing long, linear notes, Draw a diagram that connects ideas with lines and keywords. This technique helps you see the relationships between concepts and makes information easier to remember. For example, if you're studying biology, start with the word photosynthesis in the center of your page. Then draw branches for each key idea: sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and glucose. Under each branch, add details or examples. By the end, you'll have a clear, organized picture of the topic. Third, spaced repetition. Spaced repetition is all about reviewing material over time instead of cramming. Research shows that spacing out your study sessions helps you retain information longer. For example, if you're learning vocabulary for a language exam, review the words today, tomorrow, and then again a few days later. Each time you revisit the material, it becomes more ingrained in your memory. 4. Active learning. Don't just passively read your notes or textbooks. Engage with the material by asking questions, teaching it to someone else, or practicing with flashcards. Active learning forces your brain to process the information, which improves retention. Part 4, the power of breaks. Breaks are not a waste of time. They're essential for productivity. When you take a break, your brain gets a chance to rest and recharge. Here are some ideas for effective breaks. Take a walk. A 10-minute stroll can boost your energy and clear your mind. Stretch. Sitting for long periods can be hard on your body. Stand up, stretch, and move around. Hydrate. Drinking water keeps your brain functioning at its best. Listen to music. Calm, instrumental music can help you relax without distracting you. Pro tip: avoid using social media during breaks. It might seem like a good way to unwind, but it often leaves you feeling more drained. Part 5, why sleep matters. Sleep is like hitting the save button for your brain. It helps you consolidate what you've learned during the day and prepares you for the next. Studies show that students who get enough sleep perform better on tests than those who stay up late cramming. Most people need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night, and students should aim for at least 8 hours. If you're struggling to fall asleep, try these tips. Avoid screens for 30 minutes before bed. Keep a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Wind down with relaxing activities like reading or listening to calming music. Part 6. Recognizing overstudying. How do you know if you're studying too much? Here are some signs: constant fatigue, difficulty focusing, feeling anxious or stressed, losing interest in studying altogether. If you notice these signs, it's time to take a step back and reevaluate your schedule. Remember, learning is a marathon, not a sprint. Part 7, motivational takeaways. Let's wrap up with some motivational reminders. Quality over quantity. It's better to study effectively for 3 hours than to stare at your books for 10. Listen to your body. If you're tired, stressed, or unfocused, take a break. Find your balance. Make time for study, rest, and fun. A happy mind learns better. Thank you for joining me on this episode of English Flow Podcast. I hope you found these tips helpful and that you're inspired to study smarter, not harder. Remember, learning is a journey and every step counts. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend who might need some study inspiration. Until next time, take care, stay balanced, and keep learning.